That night, the odds were stacked against them.
There wasn't a lot of hope, honestly.
An entire department, a whole city, searching for an 8-year-old in imminent danger.
Did you think you were going to be able to find her?
I was cautiously optimistic that we would. I literally got off the couch watching a movie with my 2 boys and left to go. One of the best and worst things I've ever seen in my life.
That little girl needed help, and that's what we're here for.
One sunny afternoon in May 2019, Rachel Sweet and her 8-year-old daughter, Salem Sabatka, went for a stroll in their quiet suburban neighborhood in Fort Worth, Texas. At this time, convicted felon Michael Webb drove by and yelled out, "Come holler at me," to which the mother replied, "No thanks." He then drove away just to turn around and head back in their direction. As he got closer, he parked his car, got out, and confronted them yet once again. This is when he grabbed little Salem and forcefully took her with him, as her mother screamed out in horror.
Surveillance video captured the moment Salem was taken Saturday evening. Police say her mother jumped into the suspect's car frantically trying to save her. The driver pushed her to the ground and sped off.
One thing we want to clarify, some of the early information went out that she had brown eyes. She does not. She has blue eyes, very distinct blue eyes. So we want to make sure that everybody is clear on that. Also, she does have that teal shirt on with the word Centennial across it, and she is wearing some periwinkle seafoam green leggings. You guys can catch up on more details from the previous broadcast that we had earlier. What I do want to update you guys with is that we have called in additional resources. Obviously, the Fort Worth Police Department takes this very seriously. We have our entire major case unit out here. We have called in all of our MPOs to make the location and assist. We have additional SRT, which is our special response team, checking different areas and strategic areas in Fort Worth for us. We also have our entire SCRAM team. Behind these lights also we have Homeland Security that has just gotten here, and I've also seen a few Department of Public Safety, which is our DPS Highway Patrol. They're assisting us as well. I'll tell you, everybody's concerned about this little girl. I even got a phone call personally just a minute ago from the chief of the Mansfield Police Department, and he's putting together some of his guys in case we keep going. Obviously, we don't want it to extend through the night, but if it does, he will be helping us to fulfill some of our resources.
Many hours passed with dozens of leads. One tip actually leading investigators to Michael Webb's motel room, where he was hiding the kidnapped girl. Officers just didn't recognize she was in the room. They searched anyways, and still they didn't see any sign of the little girl. Another tip came in shortly after, indicating the same motel room, so authorities showed up in force and raided the room yet once again. Upon arrival, officers busted the door down and pulled the naked convicted felon out of the dirty room. Fortunately, this time they found the young child hiding in the corner. An exhausting and traumatizing 8 hours after her abduction, her innocence stripped away. She had been sexually assaulted.
Fort Police Department, open the door! Oh, man, I'm getting dressed. Open the door! Open it now! Break it. Open it! Door. Hands! Let me see your hands! Step out here! Step out! Step out!
Get him.
Come on the ground.
Shield.
Get on the ground!
Shield.
Blood in bed, blood in bed. Blood in bed, man. Hey, here she is.
Got her. We got her.
We got her. Oh, yes. Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. Bring it out. I got it. She's in custody. We have her. We need an EMT. Get call MedStar. Yes. No. Don't worry about your clothes. Don't worry about your clothes.
We got a towel? We got a towel? Who have it? Can we cover her up?
Yeah.
With something?
Here
you go, baby. Can we get her out?
Come here. For at least 2 scenes.
Let's go. Come on, sweetheart.
You're okay? You're safe. We got you.
You're gonna be okay. We got her. Hold the door. Hey, back off, guys. Back off. Please, just back off.
Riz, they found her. They found her. We have her.
Hey, Hayes, let's go. Let's get her in here so she can sit down. Guys, listen. Just stay there for me, okay? Hey, do me a favor. Can you?
This is the father.
Okay. Just hold on, okay?
What's this place called? What's this place?
It's the Woodbridge Suites.
Woodward Suites?
It's in Forest Hill.
Michael Webb remorsefully cried and pleaded during his time at the police station, but the only compassion he was shown is being allowed to breathe another day. There's no taking back what he did to that little girl.
What did you say to scare her, Michael?
I told her that if she said anything, that I would do something to her parents. And if I was in jail, I would have my friends to do it. I scoped it out pretty good, and I know I missed somebody because when I pushed the woman and grabbed her, I heard somebody screaming. I heard somebody screaming.
U.S. Attorney Neely Cox released in a statement regarding Little Salem. We feel she represents bravery, courage, and strength that's incomprehensible when you're thinking of an 8-year-old. And the family too. We were just marveled at how strong they were. My hope is that this family and this community will find solace in knowing that he will never be able to harm another little child again.
We know that Miss Sweet valiantly fought with the male that abducted her child. So much so that she was able to grab a piece of jewelry off of that male and was basically thrown from a vehicle that drove off with her daughter inside.
We got her. What's the location? Forest Park, or Forest Hill. He's in custody. We have her. We're code 4. She's in custody. We are code 4. Stay on the channel. We got her. What's the location? Forest Park, or Forest Hill. He's in custody. We have her. We're code 4. She's in custody. We are code 4.
Yeah, this was a really difficult case, and it was a case that really rattled the community, and we felt very strongly that Mr. Webb needed someone to be allowed to victimize anyone else. We hope, that this gives a measure of comfort to the victim and to the family and to this community, that he's never going to be out, never going to be a danger to this community. So with that said, we're very thankful for the judge's ruling in this case. We think it's just punishment, and just want to thank everybody that participated in the investigation and in the process of bringing this defendant to justice. We certainly want to talk about the extensive efforts of the Fort Worth Police Department, everyone that participated that night, all the patrol officers, all the crime scene officers, everyone that participated in the investigation, major case unit, including Homeland Security agents, and the rescue of the victim, all the community members that came out and supported the family that night, including the ones that were able to locate and identify the car. We're just so thankful that this community rallied their support around this family, just embraced them with their support and helped bring to justice. And then I do want to mention my amazing team at the United States Attorney's Office. It's a team effort. I was privileged enough to be able to try this case with Aisha Sleeve and he was staying in our Fort Worth office. Alex Lewis, who heads the Fort Worth office, and Emily Falconer, who's also working the case with us. So with that being said, I'll take a few questions.
After the judge imposed the sentence, he went through a laundry list of things about Webb and his history. I'm gathering these are things that you knew about throughout the course of this case, but it speaks to the individual that he is and his history. Your thoughts?
Well, the defendant has an extensive criminal history, which I mentioned in my remarks, and it reflects violence both outside of confinement and in confinement. I think the judge took that into consideration when he made his recommendation and his acknowledgement of what sentence would be just in this case. And he knows that, it is the right thing to do. And I think what he said was the only thing to do is to give a sentence of life for this defendant.
Mr. Webb didn't want to be here today, but of course he was. What do you make of that?
I'm not sure what to make of it. I mean, we opposed his desire not to attend, and we made sure that he was here. And the judge, I think, considered the fact that he was here and that the victims have rights to see the defendant sentenced, and we wanted that for this family. We wanted to get that closure.
What would have been lost had he not been here?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, nothing would have been different, but I do think it's important for victims to be able to see the defendant and see that he is sentenced, especially in this case when you're dealing with a dangerous defendant.
Talk about the victim's family's reaction to the sentence.
I'm not sure any sentence could give this family or this victim any measure of comfort, but to the extent any could, I think, a life sentence knowing that he can never be a danger to them or anyone else in this community. That has to, I hope that gives them a sense of comfort. That's what we wanted. That's what we believed was just. And so, I think that they know we did everything we could, and we certainly did. And I know the judge, we're very grateful for the judge's decision because it is within his discretion to do that.
How's the little girl doing? And also, can you just talk to our audiences, because to many people it seems like a very expedient trial. This crime happened only in May, and we're in November, and he's already sentenced to life. So, well, how is she doing? And talk about the speediness of the trial.
I'm not really going to speak about the victim. I mean, we all hope. She has a very large extended family now here with all of the folks that helped in this case. We all feel very close to her and her family. And we feel that she represents a bravery and a courage and a strength that is just incomprehensible when you're thinking about an 8-year-old. And the family too, we were just marveled at how strong they were and how resilient they were. And we just will keep them in our prayers and hope that they can use this little piece of closure and small measure of comfort to get past it. With respect to the swiftness of the decision, that was one of the reasons it was important for us to take this case federally. We have certainly wanted to be able to detain the defendant, and we wanted to be able to push to a trial and push for sentencing. I think, like you said, the fact that we're here 6 months later with a trial and with sentencing, I think it speaks to the power of the federal system to make sure that justice is not delayed.
Placement will be up to the Bureau of Prisons, right?
It will be.
And just double checking, when the judge mentioned, if Mr. Webb is ever released from prison, he doesn't think that society is equipped to deal with him. Is there a chance of parole in this case?
No, the federal system doesn't have parole. The judge is required to make certain findings, and he was establishing on the record that he did not believe Mr. Webb was a candidate to ever be out.
Can you talk about what the victim's father said in court today and what you felt like it meant?
I don't want to get into interpreting that. I was really proud that he was able to speak to the court and give the court a sense of how his family was impacted and how his daughter was victimized. I think his words really speaks for themselves.
And so this hits home, right? All of us have kids and, playing in the front yard. I mean, you kind of watch that a little bit closer now.